Welcome to a new episode of Positive Talk Daily. My name is Mr. Positive. We're on YouTube at Mr. Positive Live. Click on that bell icon, get notified when I go live or post new videos. This is Tech Corner. We are looking at the Motorola razr 2024. Yes, this phone is from last year, but we're also going to be reviewing the Motorola razr 2025 next month in the month of December. But first, I wanted to review this one because there really hasn't been too many changes between this and a Motorola razr 2025. The 2024 was released last year and has some pretty decent specs overall. What are you getting in the package? You're basically getting your paperwork and stuff like that. You get a wire. You get your charging wire, but you don't get a charging brick. This phone, when it first came out, was retailed for around $700. So it's definitely not a mid-range or budget handset, especially when it's worth that much money. What you get is a recycling material because everyone's got to go climate change and go green this and go green that. So Motorola is very the environment's very important to these people that spend millions and billions of dollars. So Lenovo did a good job with the overall what you're getting in the package. It's clean. This is your charging wire. You do get your booklets about the Motorola 2024 razr right there. Not a whole lot to be seen, just some paperwork and your usual, charging wire and stuff like that. Now, what makes this phone interesting is it is a flip phone, and flip phones aren't cheap. They're not. I mean, you go into a Spectrum store, you go into US Cellular, T-Mobile. Even this one, it still is worth right around, retail-wise. The specs on this really aren't much different from your basic razr 2025. And when you're looking at the Samsung Z Fold and stuff, this is the Motorola razr 2024. Looks no different from the 2025. You still get that same 3.6-inch secondary screen. And you do get your 50-megapixel camera and 13-megapixel ultra-wide. I really haven't had a chance to mess around with it too much. We'll get into it a little bit later. And what's cool about this phone is you can do everything with your secondary screen. You can go through, put whatever you want on your home screen, kind of similar to using the main screen. You have I have Google Gemini right there, Gemini. I have Google Photos, Messenger, and camera. Now, thanks to the update to Android 15 for this phone, you can now make phone calls through here. Now, what's cool is you can actually auto-rotate this. And if you don't want to use the two cameras, you can auto-rotate that 3.6-inch screen. Now, there is a razr Ultra for this year, but there's a razr Plus, I should say. There is a razr Plus 2024, which has a 4-inch screen, which takes up the top part. But really ain't much of a difference. This is 3.6 inches. You can still pretty much do everything you want. So like if I want to check, say, Gmail, I can do that. I can also go in and change the aspect ratio. So if I want to make it a little bit smaller, I can make it fit the screen better. If I want to go back to full screen, I can do that. So you see right there, that works pretty simple. Now, when I open the display, you're looking at a 6.9-inch display. Now, its width is kind of strange, but it's a tall display. And it's taller than any other phone I've ever used. I had a Moto G Power. Those are around 6.7 inches. I have an iPhone 16 Pro Max, and that thing is 6.7 inches. So, I mean, this is right where it's supposed to be. It's a tall display. Very tall. And you can see it for yourself. It's not a short display by any means. Any of the apps that are on the main screen on this OLED panel can also be used on the main screen or the secondary screen, is what I like about this phone. You can also put widgets. The widgets will actually make it so you can use the phone. And you have an always-on display on both the main screen and this screen. So you can use this phone multiple different ways. On the side, there is a fingerprint. There's a fingerprint. You can probably barely make it out. There's the fingerprint and power button and the volume up and down. On the bottom, you do have your Type-C stereo speaker, mono. That's basically your noise canceling microphone. On the side, nothing. And it's made of aluminum, so it's nice. And on the back, it is a vegan leather, so it's not terrible. The hinge on here is much better than the 2023 model, which a lot of people said was garbage or didn't last long. This one is a very decent hinge, and it should last you a much longer period of time. There's a lot of stuff you can do on this main screen. I'll show you real quick here. You can go through, and let me set my pen and pad real quick here. So basically, you can go through and add other applications. I've been using the main screen. Like, you can use 95% of the apps in the Google Play Store. And you get games you can use. You have all kinds of apps you can use. And it's very gimmicky. Very, very, very gimmicky. But it's cool. Like, I can use Spotify. You can use Text Now. You can use Message app here. You can make phone calls. You can use Google Gemini. Now, it is a weird aspect ratio, but you can use it, and it's cool. And you really have to really use the main screen. You can even play games on this screen as well. There are games that are loaded on here. I have our time and temperature as a widget. You can message, dial. You can make the phone calls. You can play all these games that are on here preloaded. So it's really interesting. And I saw somebody online who said they could play Call of Duty Mobile just using the screen. I would imagine doing that on a 3.6-inch screen, but okay. Now, they do sell accessories if you wanted to get kind of using like a, if you remember the old-fashioned BlackBerry phones, you could hook this up. They do sell accessories where you could use a BlackBerry keyboard. It's just an accessory. It's a case. And you can just use this part as a case. So it's pretty cool. Now, the 2025 model is the same thing. Dimensions, the screen resolution, 3,000 nits of brightness. They have the same like dimensions. The cameras are pretty much the same. Now, with the 2025 model, you'll be getting the MediaTek Dimensity 7400 chipset. On this one, it's not much of a difference, really, by maybe about 3 or 4%. You're getting the MediaTek Dimensity 7300X chip. So still very capable, almost as good as a flagship, if not better. It's high tier, mid-range. I would say lower-end flagship, really. It's not that much different. Like, this thing is 120 hertz refresh rate. And you can do that on here too. It's got 120 hertz on just the secondary screen as well. It's very zippy. And it's, obviously it's very gimmicky. If I wanted to send text messages, I could. I can go full screen. Let me see if I can go back to that again. So if I tap up, it gives you the option to go full screen. And then you can view all your text messages and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. I love how you can just use that secondary screen. Now, it is gimmicky compared to using something like a main phone. You just pull this out, and you can pretty much do everything on a regular phone. But it's cool. There's also some other things you can do. So let's say you wanted to open the camera app. Okay, I'm just giving you an idea. You can use the camera, and you can use this secondary screen to take a selfie. It's pretty cool, see? So you can take a selfie using just this main screen. So very interesting. This operates, it gives you the settings like you would find in your main screen. You can turn the brightness up, turn the brightness down. And you actually will save on battery power using just the secondary screen. And obviously with flip phones or foldable flip phones like this, you have to worry about that hinge. You have to worry about the screen. These things over the years, now the Razr smartphones have only been out since 2019. Now, the Razrs are old, obviously old school Razr smartphones from Motorola. This is a Motorola device, but much different. Like, they really made this one work. Now, last year, or the 2023 model, had a 1.2-inch screen or 1.4-inch screen. And it was just off to the side where the cameras were. You couldn't do much of anything with that. This, you can actually do something. This is functional. Most of these flip phones are the future. People may not want to say that. The foldables, the flip phones, pretty much identical. This thing is awesome. And you can do everything you want with the main screen. You can change the aspect ratio. I kind of like that. Now, I haven't had a chance to mess with the cameras really. I got it today. I wanted to make a video showing you that really this version, if you're looking to upgrade to the 2025 version, I would wait till the 2026 version because you're really not getting much of a difference. You're getting Android 15. You may even get Android 16, but from what Motorola is stating. And it does everything. The same brightness, same screen size, same everything. Now what you're getting on the 2025 model is a larger battery. You will get the razr. You'll get that battery that is the battery on that one is I think it's a 4,500 milliamp hour. This one's 4,200 milliamp hour. So you get 200 extra milliamps of battery percentage. So I kind of think that would be the only reason why you'd want to upgrade to the 2025, and it may get one more additional year of software updates. The real update ain't, your storage options are the same. 256 gigs is just like this one. 120 hertz refresh rate, same thing. Same 3,000 nits of brightness, same 6.9 inch screen, same everything. If you have a case for the 2024, it's going to fit on the 2025. The only difference is the quality of the material is blue, and they come in different colors. Now with the 2025 version, as I showed you in the first video we did about 3 days ago, you get a slightly larger. You get 3 models in the 2025. You get the standard one like this. They're all flagship smartphones. This is Motorola's flagship devices. So hate to say it, but this is a flagship device in the Motorola ecosystem. So between this and the Motorola Edges, those are your flagships. Now, what's cool about having those, the 3 options is you have your budget one, or I wouldn't call it budget. This is still a $700 smartphone if you slap a 2025 number on it. This is still a $500 smartphone on some websites. And you can get it for $200 on Straight Talk, but you have to go on a plan. There's always a catch, okay? 2 months of service or whatever. This is their most expensive phones you can get. Last year, this was a $750 or $800 phone. The Plus model was $1,000. This year, you have 3 models. You have the 2025 for $700. You have the Plus model for $900. And then you have the Ultra, which is about $1,300, $1,400. So these phones aren't cheap, and there's reasons why, because foldable phones are making a comeback. Now, Samsung has the Z Fold 7, and you have the Z Fold 6. And honestly, you can do a lot more on this one. Now, the Samsung ones will give you slightly more power under the hood. Now, this one does give you a decent chip inside. You are getting 8 gigs of RAM. You are getting an additional, for virtual RAM, if you need it, for an additional 8 gigs. You can round that to 16 gigs of storage. That's very, very good. And you're already getting 8 gigs on board. And there is, sad thing with the phone is there is no expandable storage on this. And you can use eSIM. I believe this is eSIM, but you can also use nano SIMs in this phone. I've been using it like this. It's perfect. And you can do everything. I can run my Facebook. I can go, and I'll show you real quick before we go. You can literally check your Facebook. Like I'm literally checking my Facebook right now. And it's quick. It's 120 hertz. 120 hertz refresh rate. I turned it up to 120 hertz. You can check Facebook Messenger. It's pretty cool. Now, if you want to rotate it and type so you don't have the cameras in the way, you can do that too. And when you turn on the selfie camera, you can record in 4K. All the cameras are capable of 4K. This has really solid cameras. I've been messing around with the selfie camera. I haven't really opened it much just to set up the phone, but since I've had it this way, it's just been that way. I think the razr 2024 is an excellent phone if you're being told to go get the razr 2025. Don't waste your money. It is the same phone. We are still going to review the razr 2025. Now, the reason they're upgrading to the 2025 may be due to a better hinge. That's what I've been hearing. They put a better hinge on the top so they can hold it's better so that it won't break as much. But outside of that, the cameras are the same. The overall dimensions are the same. And the chipset's almost identical. So, you'd be wasting your money to upgrade. Unless you want the latest software and stuff like that, that may be the only reason to do it. The Motorola razr 2024 does get a pass by me. I think it's a decent phone. If you have one, tell me what you think in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.